Hi, everybody. We are here a few minutes late. I also don't have my main source of light because it is upstairs. We've been doing a lot of like homework and stuff. Well, I was going to say homework around the house, but that's kind of implied by the term homework. But anyway, uh, we're about 6 minutes away from the Hyper 1 hour game jam starting, and I still forgot to put my sleeves and gloves on, so I'm working on that right now. Hey, Angel, how's it going?
It's going all right.
Awesome. Oh no.
What's wrong?
Um, I did not set up this bot to do this, but apparently whenever we go live, it automatically ats everyone.
Oh no.
I'm just saying that won't happen again. So yeah, I guess I know what we're doing after the stream is we're fixing that bot so that it won't at everybody. But anyway, Panic is here. So hey, Panic. I actually don't even have Twitch up to watch her stream or YouTube. I mean, because she's on YouTube when she does her streams. Lise is, but we usually about 10 minutes in, she will announce what the theme is,
I
and up
have
and
it.
oh,
Sorry,
okay,
I have
cool,
it up, and she hasn't even gone live yet.
okay. And before that, she'll allow people to suggest ideas so we can at least kind of get a feel for what it might be at a time. If you are here and you're watching, I apologize sincerely for the at everyone tag that was on Discord. I haven't shared this on social media yet. I'm about to do that right now. So if you're here, you're from Discord probably. So, and that was, we had an awesome person come by. Um, there was a woman named Claire in the Ridge F game server who had set up a bunch of bots for us and told me that I could look into, fixing them up and doing whatever I want with them. And I have not done that yet. And apparently I need to make that more of a priority because whoops. I wonder if I can, oh no, I can't edit it. I'll say if I can edit that and then, actually, if I delete it, it'll still give people a message, like a notification, but then like they'll go there and be like, what happened? I don't see one. So that would actually be worse. Yeah, Panic says bots be wild. And I totally agree. Maybe we just need a bunch more bots, and then all the mistakes that I make ever, I can blame on a bot instead of myself. Like, oh, that totally wasn't me either. That was absolutely this bot. Whoops, darn.
Boss be button.
Yes, bots be button. While we are waiting, though, I'm going to go ahead and set up an itch page to get prepared. If you notice, I'm going to be scratching my neck a lot. It's because we went for a walk today, and this hat doesn't fully cover my head, and I'm allergic to the sun, so it gives me like itchiness across my neck. So that's fun. But got music going, got this up. My goal, I think, as long as you're cool with it, of course, too, Angel, is try to make something like business card size this time, or maybe postcard size at most, because like Lise does this thing now where she only you only get 5 minutes, like where she'll play her games. And she usually gives us a couple minutes extra because she has to read everything, whereas the other games are just literally like open it up and it's you play it like it's a video game, so the rules are all handled by the computer and stuff. So um,
Yeah, I think it always depends on the theme that's picked. Honestly.
that's fair. I do try to aim for as small of a thing as possible, though, so we'll see. And I am still looking for the excuse to make, what do you call it? What is that called? Oh, the bingo thing, the like video game bingo, like so she can play that while she's doing other things. Panic says, just noticed there aren't any voice channels in the Discord yet. Don't you want loiterers? That's funny. Actually, I do like the idea of adding one. We for reference, we just opened our own Discord server this week. After a sequence of mistakes and accidents, we'd made it a long time ago, and I added the Discord bot, and it automatically pulled in the two people that were our patrons at the time, like paid patrons, and I'd forgotten about it because it'd been like 7 months since that happened, maybe 9. It was August, so whatever that is. And then Carla had convinced us. Carla was the third person of our Quirky Bird team. Convinced us to just stay as part of Weird Draft Games for our Discord server. So we did, and I just kind of shut that one down. And then when last month, I think at the beginning of last month, I was like, hey, what do you call it? Wow, my brain is not working today. This is going to be great for game development. But I was like, hey, we were talking about another person joining this server too, who also makes TTRPGs. And she was going to be joining at some point, but I had heard that since like last October, September. Honestly, I think in August we were told that. She was like, don't make your own server. We'll have, another TTRPG person here. And so at the beginning of last month, I was like, hey, like, I don't know what's going on with that. I even reached out to her. She said that she's waiting to hear back from you. So I'm going to give you all month this month to get that done. Even I can do it. Like, just, give me approval. I'll set the channels up for her. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever. And nothing happened. So I was just like, you know what? We're going back to our server. I put the Discord bot back there. It forced like 20 more people to join. Like, and then like before I was even done setting it up. So then I had to spend that day basically just like finishing setting it up. And then we had Claire come by the day later to set up all the bots and stuff. So it's been a ride. Panic says also chat huge on stream. I don't know what you mean. What, like, is the chat taking up a lot of the screen, or like, I don't look again on my little teeny tiny screen because I have like the whole like window of my monitor, and like on this little tiny sliver of it is like the chat and stuff, and then all the way over here for this whole part is my actual work screen. Maybe just that like more people talk during stream. I don't know. I have so many freaking windows right now, or things on the Discord right now, because I made a bunch of like posts for like all the different game ideas and stuff that I took from other servers, and there's like 30 of those right now, and they're all just like broken open, like they will be for another like I think 28. Oh, Panic says when chat pops up it looks. Oh, you talking about like this? Yeah, we played at that a little bit, so we could make it a little more visible, and we also figured out how to do these. Oh, this one's actually fitting. But we have these little like thingies across the bottom now, because this is all StreamYard. We have a shared account, but like you can have it like post up different thingies. And then we have like this one here where it actually goes across the screen, which I'm going to get rid of that one quickly because I'm not trying to like spam ads and stuff here. We actually said in our last Quickie Bird Word that we were going to like do a lot less advertising because I used to do a lot of it. Panic says huge, and I'm going to like just throw it on the screen to make it huge too. But yeah. And it's purple now. It used to be green because Carla's favorite color was green, and this is actually her account. Like Weird Draft Games is hers, all that stuff is hers. But nobody on their team streams anymore, so we basically do the streaming. So we changed it to purple because that's Angel's favorite color, and orange looked weird, which is my favorite color. So, oh, it is 12 after. Did she do the thing yet?
No, she's still not live.
Oh, that weird. Maybe if you refresh, it'll play because the topic is live now. It's one button.
Oh, whoops. No, it says waiting for hyperdev.
Weird. I wonder if they're saying anything in her server.
Yeah, hyper game dev. Sorry, technical difficulty, but I'll be there in a sec. Topic, one button.
There is a lot of chat in there. I'm not reading it all because there's a lot, and that's not really an entertaining like thing for stream. But
that's what you said in on YouTube.
Okay, that's cool. So one button. Normally in video games, one button means that there is only one button that you press the whole time you're playing a game. A more mainstream version of that is Super Mario Run, which is a mobile game where like basically Mario runs across the screen, and if you press the screen, he jumps, and if you like press and hold it, he jumps more. But that's literally the only input you get. So like if Mario runs into something, he'll turn around, and that's the only way you have to kind of manipulate the map. So you're like you're pressing this button to jump or not jump, and that's all you can do. But you're strategizing with like, if he bumps into something, he'll turn around. Like, can you make it so you can bounce, like wall jump and collect coins or whatever, those kinds of things. So I think in a tabletop game, the version of one button would be that you only have one action available. like because that's basically the same thing thematically, that you only have one input or one thing that changes. So that could be something like you're on a rondelle and you move a certain amount, but you can adjust the amount you move, or but basically, so then everything you're doing in the game is like you're just collecting. So like you can choose to move 1, 2, or 3 squares, and then that things happen. I definitely wouldn't be able to do that in an hour though. I guess we'll think about that a little bit while I make the page up real quick, like the version of it.
At least it finally go live, so at least
Oh, that's
there's that.
cool. I'm gonna throw that
I
on the screen just because I'm curious what it looks like on the screen. But then Panic also says, when I think of tabletop games, I think of having a buzzer button like for quiz game shows, which is totally fair. For like quiz shows. Sorry, I can't talk or think today. Apparently, that's a good combo.
I think that when I think of one button, I think of that story with like there was a book that I read as a kid with Scrooge McDuck, where
Mhm.
he made button soup, and so he had one button, and then was like, well, I have this magic soup that you can make with one button, and it's delicious. And so someone's like, oh, well, I have some carrots, I'll add those to it, and I have this, and I'll add that to it. Like, so really, the soup was made with one button because like everybody decided that they wanted to make the soup better and put their own thing into it.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I think that would be a funny game to do, like where if you have like you start with one thing, but like with different roles, you get something else. But I don't know how
Oh,
that would go.
that's fair, and it is true. Like the first rule of theme theory in a tabletop game or in any kind of game jam is like you first like do everything in the entire world to that theme. Like the theme is one button, and so like yeah, the thing that comes across first would be a game with one button. But it could be that you have like you only have one component, and that is a button, or like maybe your piece is a button, and so like you're just that button. That's all you are, and like you can roll dice and move or whatever else. It could be like thematically, like you just said, like one button in a soup, or like it could even be like um kind of an offshoot of that, where like you're only like instead of one button necessarily, you're only using ordinary little things around the house. Like you're not going to use dice, you're not going to use like meeples or cards or anything like that. You're just going to use like a pen or like a button or like a penny or whatever else. Like, so just kind of a, what's laying around kind of thing. Um, Panic says it's like the stone soup story with your one button soup. And then also, but that's a good point. You could have a button like a sewing item. That's fair too. Now I'm thinking of like a potluck where everybody is going to like sew something. So everybody brings like a thing, and like the one person only brought one button. So like they only cared about themselves because they didn't bring enough for everybody. They only brought enough for themselves.
Hmm.
Whew, it is fun to scratch your back when you're wearing a giant hat and giant headphones around your head. Um. Oh, and I have I mentioned in our Discord server, but I have hot cocoa here, and I don't remember if my screen is mirrored or not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it says Beth. See, it's got Beth on it. It's got a trans heart on it, and like with sparkle emojis. Angel bought it for me for Christmas, like 2 or 3 years ago now. I think 3 years ago. No, it wasn't trans 3 years ago. So like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I think I got it for your birthday, but I'm not sure. It might have been Christmas.
Hmm. It would be almost 3 years or 2 years ago then. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love that mug. I use it for anything I can, which isn't much anymore because I don't drink much coffee. But my goodness, we are getting a really slow start here. I don't think we're making it in the 50 minutes that are left, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was worried about that too. I'm trying to think of what on earth to do with one button.
Yeah, I'm still making the page, but I don't really see anything either. Yes, Panic. That's right. Throw that on the screen there. I feel like the hats that I wear are like crowns anyway, so that's totally fair. June 5th. For those not familiar, I use brackets as a placeholder, so that way, like if like when this is done, I could just hit Control F like this and hit that button, and then it'll take me to all the ones that are still like unfixed. So that's why I'm putting a lot of brackets in here. We're gonna get rid of the more to come here. This might just be the first Hyper 1 hour jam we just don't make something for anyway. Like,
I know. I was thinking like maybe I just want to work on my zine still.
yeah, and I might make something else instead, like instead of this, but we'll see. I just said which Hyper 1 hour game, 56. And if we don't, then we'll just remake this as another one. Oh, I used the wrong side bracket there. Okay.
I used to do that to get the Burger King crowns when I was younger. I used to be excited to get those.
Oh, yeah, I see over here. Yeah.
I remember we didn't really celebrate Halloween when I was a kid, but there was like a Halloween parade thing at school, so they had people dressing up, and I didn't have a costume because we don't really do that. And Mom had this like old wedding dressy type thing, and put me in that, and then had a Burger King crown that she like wrapped paper around, and then wrote Princess Diana across it so people would know what I was. So, and then dressed me up like Princess Diana for the like to go to school. Ugh.
Okay, I think
everybody's like, "Is that a Burger King crown?"
yes.
I guess it is.
I do agree that the Burger King crowns are awesome, and also Panic had pointed out getting a Princess Peach crown today, which is
fun.
also epic.
I like tiaras.
Tiaras are awesome too. I totally agree. If I had any hair on my head, I would be wearing a tiara instead of a hat. But I actually considered not even wearing my hat today. I was just going to come on here, but I also haven't shaved my head in like 2 weeks. So like, I don't know if anyone's familiar with shaving your head, but you get this length of hair that's like just this long, and it's like really annoying looking, and like you just look very like unkempt, like like you're not taking care of yourself at all.
Aww.
So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So. All right. So I guess what I'm trying to think of right now, just for something super quick, something that she could play on her stream really easy, something that, it's a jam. So we're not expecting high quality here anyway. It's just more experimental than anything. Maybe just some kind of super simple press your lucky kind of game. Because then your button would be to just stop. Like, you can go or you can stop. Like that's your one choice. You either continue going, or, okay, I'm banking what I have right now, and I'm done with my turn.
That just makes me think of like a shut the box thing again.
Yeah, me too. Which was like, I've already done 2 of those in the last month and a half or so. So It's like, but I like shut the box so much. Like, I really like what we did with it for the summoned too, where you had that like there was this, which I can't take any credit for because it was actually an idea from another place. But it was. You basically play back and forth. Like one of them's the AI that you're playing against, and one of them is you. Panic says, "Remember those will you press the button games that we could adapt that?" Are you talking about the the meme where it's all like, if you press this button, this happens, but also this bad thing happens? Like, is that what you mean by will you press the button games?
I was actually thinking something like that too. With the one button thing was like making it.
Okay, Panic says, yeah.
Like different choices.
I actually had an idea for a game called Tonight We Riot. And the premise of it was that you have different cards in your hand, and everybody goes around the table like playing one of them. And the premise is that like you're under this like terrible government who's doing all these awful things, but like you don't necessarily riot right away, because that's generally what happens. Like, you're not going to riot the very second something happens. So like, the first person might play a card that's all like, the government's increased tax by 20%, or like, like something like that. And, or like, there's now a nationwide curfew of 11 p.m. Like, if you're not at home at 11 p.m., you get arrested, or just things like that. So like, every turn somebody plays a card, like, all of these new things are in effect. And at any time you can play like screw it, I'm rioting, like, card. And whoever played that last card that set off the, like, like, this is too much for me, I'm done, like, no way am I stomaching this, like, gets the point for you having rioted to that point. So you kind of want to hold on to your bigger, worse cards for after other people have played some, and then it's like, this is the needle on the camel's back, or whatever, the straw on the camel's back, the last straw, kind of thing. And I could see that something like that for the button, like, you roll maybe at the beginning of a round, and it's like, okay, so this bad thing is going to happen if you press the button, and then you just see how many things happen. It could even be like the first person to do it, like, gets the stuff, but also like the negative thoughts of, like, I cannot believe you pressed that button right now, like, you hurt this person, or you, like, whatever bad thing happened.
That sounds like interesting. I'm not sure we could do that in the time, but you may be able to.
You might be able to make a really simple version of it.
Yeah.
Like, it would just do like an experimental version of it, like on a business card or something, that just has like 6 things, or like maybe 36 things. So it'd be like 2 6-sided dice. I kind of like using 2 different sided dice though. So maybe 4 and 6. That'd be these 2 bad boys right here, if I can ever get them out of the bag. Like, nothing greater than like like trying to talk long enough to make something happen. But these 2 dice here, D4 and a D6. I just like to show off my trans dice. So that's what that is about. Also, Panic shared these like awesome emojis here. So yeah, I guess we can just do like I guess it'd be a postcard size. I don't know. I didn't really necessarily call it anything, because we're just making this as an experiment. And then, like, later on we'd be making it into a game on a sheet or whatever, where you actually roll dice.
I was gonna say, you might as well just make it on a page, and then you can make it something else later.
That's true. In fact, let's not even use Canva. Let's just Google Doc it up. We can definitely get that done in time. Press the button. H1H 56. Actually, let's be a little more active voice on that. Let's call it, will you press the button? Panic says, that reminds me, I want to get a fortune teller template so I can design an art around it. That would be cool.
I actually have a template, I think. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But someone had done a fortune teller zine, and it was really cool. And I had talked to them, and they actually sent me their template. So
nice.
I'll probably do that.
I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in at all, Panic, but there's a jam called the Trans-Oracular Jam. Just means like kind of like oracle, like anything to do with predicting the future, fortune telling systems, anything like that. So basically it says, I need to get that off the screen because there's the F-bomb right there. What can I submit? Anything involving tools used to tell the future, reflect, and discover information. So it doesn't have to be a game to answer this. It could be like, those little like cookie thingies that you say like a color and you open it up, and then like you open it and like you do another like number or letter or whatever, and like you keep flipping it around. So it could be something like that. It could be just a new tarot deck. It could be anything to do with that. My idea for it was the whole like they do that in movies sometime, where like you see the future, or like somebody from the future of like the future you comes back and is all like, yeah, we're this now, we did this and this and this, and so like just knowing that gives you the confidence to actually get it done. So I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do like a you saw yourself in the future, like and then you write down like, what would be the perfect you if possible. Um, and then, oh yeah, you could totally like F-bomb and stuff all over this jam. In fact, funny quick little story here. This was the first, I can't even talk. The first Discord server I was ever asked to leave because because they were doing a trans rage jam, and I was being really uplifting and supportive of everybody, and apparently I was ruining the vibe because I wasn't being angry.
Oh wow, really?
I was being nice. I wasn't asked to leave. I was asked to change my vibe, and I would rather just leave. So I left. But I just thought that was hysterical. Like, you're being too nice for our server. Like, we can't have that. So yeah, like you're more welcome to. I still like them as a creator and everything else. So it's not like I have anything against them. I just thought that was hysterical. But you could do whatever for that. All right, so we're gonna do a quick little will you press the button thingy. Grab a 6-sided die, roll it, and then move down that many items and mark it. This thing is now in effect. If you would press the button, stop, and journal about what effect this has on your life and the world as a whole. If you wouldn't press the button, actually, let's do a d20. Grab a 20. If you wouldn't press the button, roll again and move down that many more. For example, if you rolled a 5 and then a 17, you would now be on number 23. Repeat this process with rolling the die, moving that many points down, and then circling or then marking that item and seeing if you would press the button. You only have the one negative from the button press, but as time goes on, more and more positives will come up. If playing on a stream or with other players, each player can press the button at any given time. So you'll want to hurry to press it before anyone else. But you'll still want to wait long enough that the good outweighs the bad. Because with multiple people, everyone will know what you did. Okay, so we have a super simple instruction guide here. Now we can just spend the next 40 minutes, 37 and a half minutes, coming up with a list of things that could happen. First we need grab a 10-sided die. We'll do 20 again. 20-sided die. Roll it once to see what bad thing from the below will happen if you press the button. Now, roll your die and move down the many items on the below list, marking it. This thing is now in effect. If you would press the button, stop and journal about what effect this has on your life and the world as a whole. If you wouldn't press the button, roll again and move down that many more. For example, if you rolled a 5 and a 17, you would now be on number 23. Repeat this process. If you go off the bottom of the list, start again from the top. Repeat this process, rolling the die, moving that many points down, and then marking the item and seeing if you had pressed the button. Thanks, Grammarly. You only have one negative from the button press, but as time goes on, more and more positives will come up. If playing on a stream or with other players, each player can press the button at any given time. So you'll want to... each player can press the button at any given time, and when it is pressed, the game ends. No one else can press it after that point. So you'll want to hurry to press it before anyone else, but you'll still want to wait long enough that the good outweighs the bad. Because with multiple people, everyone will know what you did. Okay, that's cool. So we need 20 bad things, and we need at least 20 good things. I don't think either one of those would be too bad, idea-wise. You get $1 million. All disease is cured. Half of the people on the planet suddenly die. 30 super cute species of animals suddenly go extinct. All people become allergic to... I wouldn't say allergic to meat, but there's a lot of people that are already vegans. So maybe someone who is vegan would like want to press the button immediately, just so everybody like stops eating meat. All people become allergic to... Actually, let's just, instead of that, chocolate.
Huh? Moonlight. They can't go out at night.
Oh, there we go. All people suddenly become allergic to moonlight, making it impossible to go out after the sun sets. Chocolate, coffee, and something are now forever gone. I have been missing on a chat a lot. Panic says, I've been a relatively good lad in your server. I'm normally quite spicy. You are a very good lad in the server. I totally like appreciate that too, because we are family friendly. I'm all for, like, if you want to like use some language in spoiler tags, like go for it, especially in like your own creations and stuff. Like I feel like that kind of stuff is like your space anyway when you make something in the server. Like if you have put that together, it's yours. So like it's like fair for you to just put that spoiler tag it up. I think I have in the rules somewhere something about that, but like I'm trying to keep it family friendly as much as possible, which isn't easy for me either. Like I know I don't seem spicy here on streams or like on the server, but like in Zoe's server, I use its server a lot just to vent, and I will let off about 50 different cuss words in a few paragraphs. And Angel can tell you how many F-bombs I drop in real life. So I totally get that.
All your favorite TV stars or TV shows now star kittens.
Now what?
Like a positive thing could be all your favorite TV shows now star kittens. Like they have, like the actors are kittens.
And all of the ones you liked that were canceled are coming back.
News anchors are puppies. Could be that instead.
Honest puppies. What is that? The word for like bipartisan? Honest bipartisan puppies at that. Panic says no.
Aw.
Was that no about the kittens as stars, or was it about the dog or the puppies as news anchors? I'm curious which one of those is bad now. I also like the idea that some people are going to see some of these positive things as like super negative, and some people might even see the negatives as positive, so they just immediately press the button. Like, yeah. Everyone is suddenly vegan. I will put that on there. Oh, about the canceled shows. You don't want canceled shows to come back? Okay. Let's make that something separate then. All of the TV shows you like that were canceled are coming back, and they'll be even better than they originally were. All of the living stars are happy to return. All the living actors, because like stars kind of ruins it. Like there have been several shows where like the stars stick around, but then the people that aren't, like the side actors that kind of made the show, are they take off, and that kind of ruins the show. Hey there, Orion, how's it going? So I want to say all the living actors are happy to return, and the original writers and directors are on board too. So that way we're keeping the vibe. I want to make it very clear that when the TV shows that were canceled come back, they keep the same vibe. So like if Firefly came back for a second season all of a sudden because of this, like it would actually be Firefly still. It wouldn't just be like some random, like wannabe or like some remake or something.
We're gonna have to mix those in because that's a lot of TV stuff all of a sudden.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking us out. Yeah, we're trying to make, and we're hopefully going to, because this is a super simple one. We're making a game for the Hyper 1 Hour Game Jam. It's something that Lise does, is her name. In fact, if you go, here's the page. If you go to this page, this is the jam page for it. But she runs these every week. They run from 6 to 7:15 p.m. This is 7:10 Eastern time, which is our time. And if you see this video right here, this is actually her streaming it. But she makes a video game instead of a tabletop game like we do. And then afterward, not only will she make her game, she'll she'll play her game on stream, and then she'll play everybody who entered games too. She's a really positive, uplifting person, and like really shares like what she learns and sees and enjoys and stuff. So she's super worth checking out if you're a creator or even just somebody who wants to get into making video games, because she does streams throughout the week too, where she shows like she makes stuff in Godot. So like she'll share like what she's learning, and she'll stream a lot of her live stuff and all that. So we are a member of exactly one paid Patreon, and it's hers, because like we just enjoy her 1 hour game jam so much and stuff like that. Right now we're making something called Will You Press the Button, because the premise or the theme is one button. And Panic came up with the idea. Oh, thanks, by the way. I gotta remember. A huge shout out to panickedlizard, who came up with the idea for this game. Game by Beth Jackson and Angelique Drummond. Wow, if I could spell, geez. And I'm going to tab that over. So that way I can remember, like, we're just making a little quick test of this in Google Docs. We are tabletop creators. And then if we end up liking this, in fact, I'm having fun with it already, so it'll probably become a thing at some point. Just it's going to be a while because we're behind on a lot of other stuff. We can make this in Canva and actually release it. So we're trying to come up with 20 bad things here, and bad being like a what do you call it? Relative term. So like, people who are vegan or vegetarian might actually be happy to make everybody vegan, but for the most part, that'd be a very negative thing. Actually, let's reverse this instead. Everyone who is vegan becomes a carnivore. Everyone who is a carnivore becomes a vegan. Everyone who eats whatever, everyone who is a carnivore, and everyone else becomes vegan. I know vegetarian is a thing too, but it just feels like vegan is the more extreme of that. So this guy turns neon green. That's fun. Oh no, Ryan. Everything has to eat vegetables, but they have to overcook them until they become tasteless. That's actually really fitting too, because everything has to eat vegetables, but they have to overcook them until they are tasteless. I'm
Yeah,
also going to add and textureless
ugh,
because that's my thing is texture and
my
food.
baby food.
And if you're not okay with this, let me know, Orion, but I'm going to add and J Orion tell for help with prompts. If you also want your name as something different than J Orion tell, like let us know that. But like whenever we make the game, we'll continue that over too. Like, let's see. Okay, if you're working on the bad stuff, I'll work on the good stuff. But anyway, I think what Angel was about to say and what I was going to say was that we live with. Okay, you go by that most places that works. We live with Angel's family, and her parents are both really huge into. We like to joke as a thing from Psych. They are not fans of delicious flavor. They when people joke about mayonnaise being too spicy for people, we think that that's who they're talking about. And they like all their food mushy, like because they have trouble chewing things, so like all their food has to be mushy. Sometimes we'll even pull our food out before theirs is done because we don't want ours to be mushy. Oh, that's awesome, baby. Bugs can talk and are very opinionated. That's funny. And yeah, Orion says basically we're cooking before the 1940s. That is very fair. We watch a lot of Good Mythical Morning, and sometimes they do both on that and also on Mythical Kitchen. They'll do like foods from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 20s and stuff, and just how bad some of that stuff was. Like they had like an episode where they did like some kind of Jello pie or something weird. Like it was like Jello and mayonnaise or something else, and it was just like the most horrible thing ever. Heck yeah, Panic says gonna have to have a think on how to make the trans Oracle jam trans enough for the trans club. I think fitting the word trans 3 times is already like a good start. All clothing is inflated. Oh no. Good stuff. All dice roll whatever you want them to roll whenever you want. You can see a week into the future at will. You only have enough money to live on. Okay, never mind. You cannot gift this money to others, but you can gift money to others, or you cannot gift this money to yourself, is what I meant. But you can gift money to others infinitely. Your wallet is literally infinite or limitless as far as giving to others is concerned. Orion says, I got that yesteryear cookbook from Dylan Hollis, some Cracker Jack ones in there, and he kept in the worst ones. That's awesome. And then Panic says, I love Dylan Hollis vids. They're great. We're going to have to look at those then because
I think I know who that is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I know we're on a tight crunch here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I recognize that dude. Okay. Yeah. It says he. I still have the bad habit of assuming gender sometimes. Just because there's so many times where I'll like spend 20 minutes finding out someone's gender or like asking them, they'll be like, obviously it's this. So like I go back and forth on the like, let me spend an hour figuring this out versus I'm just going to take a guess. You can create anything instantly by thinking of it. Inventions, books, movies, music, art, you name it. What else are we gonna throw in here? Good stuff.
Everything you need is encapsulated in Jello, and you have to free it to use it.
That's awesome. I like that too. That's something specifically bad just for the person who presses the button.
Yes. All drinks are freeze dried. You have to suck on them to reconstitute them.
Oh no. I know in my trans circles, there's always a lot of like, you know, if you had a superpower, it would be, and everybody is all like the ability to shapeshift, because then you could just like shapeshift from like one gender to another, basically whenever you wanted. I think a lot more of us are gender fluid than like we maybe even necessarily know or say. So like, I mean, not all trans people, obviously. I'm just saying specifically a few of us.
Laughing also makes people sneeze.
Oh no. That's awesome. Panic says, I got a little crocheted NB flag from the local bookstore. It was supposed to be a keychain, but I broke that part off, so I just have a little rectangle. What the heck was that? It was, I think it was, oh no, I cannot, how can I not remember this dude's name now? I'm gonna have to look it up. But he does like, pitch meeting. That dude, Ryan George. That's I didn't even make it to the videos like list of my history. Yeah, Ryan George. He had something recently where he was talking about like a little rectangle, you know, like basically being your phone. So, we only have 20 minutes. Jeez. Well, we don't technically, for anybody who wants to enter these jams in the future. The reason we do this, we have the H1H 656 placeholder here, because now we'll be in the jam no matter what, and we can, like, whenever the game is done, we can release it here. So it's not like we have to be done in that 20 minutes, but that's why there's several of them here like that. You get $5 every time you snap your fingers. Orion says he has the energy that makes you want to bake. Oh, and somebody missed this one too. I'm still flabbergasted that he's a from Bermuda. Trying to think of some things that are good things, but not like so amazing. You know what I mean? Like, because not all of these should be so great that you'd instantly press the button. You can make hair grow or stop growing wherever you want, whenever you want. What else? Orion. It took me a minute. Sorry to understand what you meant there. Can only be within 6 to 7 on a Friday. Yes. This is specifically like a live thing that she does. However, you can. My goodness, if I can find this again. Oh, I actually have this tab open somewhere. Yeah. If you don't enter by the here then though, you can enter anytime in the future. You just basically go to the community here and you make a topic, and you'd be all like, made a game for H1H 55. Hey, I know this is late, but I made a game based on your jam from before with the theme, whatever. Here's a link. And then like she would check that out after her stream. You just put that on the newest one. So that would happen. Also, I don't know if anybody here is familiar. I just started doing them recently. It did not go super great though. But Try Jam is a jam where you actually have all weekend instead. So you have like from this time it was from today at 5 a.m. until the 6th, which is Monday at 5 a.m. And they give you a theme each time. And then you can pick any time you want within that 3-day period to make a game within 3 hours. So you have 3 hours to actually make it. But you'll notice here too, it specifically says, here it is. The time only counts for building your game. That is any coding, making sound effects / music, art, and other assets. Writing a design doc, coming up with ideas, compiling your game, or making the itch page does not count. So you have 3 hours, but like you can sit there and think about it as much as you want. Like for us as tabletop creators, what that meant for me was I could write down my ideas as much as I wanted. And they don't specifically say this, but it's just what I came up with. But as soon as I started, like, if I wrote prompt tables, if I started writing the rules while I was playtesting the game to see what worked and what didn't, and then when I actually made the rule book, that all counted toward my time. But if you're a video game creator, then it's like anything in your actual like game engine or whatever, or like making the sounds. But I guess like finding sounds wouldn't count. I'm not sure on that. I did take 6 hours last time though, and I guess at least in my brain I'm saying it as because I'm a tabletop creator. I'm the only one in there. That I was 40th place out of 40 games this last time, so I know it was a little complicated anyway. Like it was, I think you needed like several dice and stuff like that. So, but I'm blaming on that. Oh, speaking of which, today's what, Friday? Yeah, Orion says like a baking contest. I know we're supposed to be doing a game jam right now, but I've got to check. Okay, yeah, we still have 21 and a half hours until the Let 'em Dare ratings are done, and like we actually see what happened. It's Saturday at 4:30 when we find that out. We entered a game into the last Let 'em Dare that just ended, so I'm really curious about what our rating will be like on there. I know it's a little harder to get ratings as a tabletop creator on Let 'em Dare because so many of them are just like you open the tab and then like you play it right in the browser and there's nothing to learn or remember anything or read. We keep making games that are way too big for Let 'em Dare too. Like this time we entered a game that was 16 pages long, and it's a 2-page like play, like your game sheet basically where you fill out how your results were. But there are 13 dice games in it, so you're playing 13 games, and you need 12 dice to play it too. And you can't use digital dice, like you can't just Google like roll dice because a lot of the games require you to like lock some and not others, or like move them from one place to another and things like that. So you can't even use a digital roller, so it's hard to get those ratings there. But wow, you have not been slacking on the prompts. Angel, way to go. Oh, scratching doesn't make itches go away. It's so evil, especially when I'm sitting here scratching at my thumb because apparently even my thumb can rash out. Like my glove doesn't cover my thumb, but there's a couple bumps there.
For those
like,
that weren't
cool.
here for that decision or for that discussion, Beth is allergic to the sun, and we went for a walk, and she got rashy.
Yeah. The sun hitting any part of my skin makes me like rash out and get itchy. Luckily, the itching spots don't spread, but it's still super, super fun. And that's a fun topic to talk about on stream anyway, but yeah. You can bring one person back from the dead. Nothing weird about it. They just come back in an unharmed, or in their former body as if it never decayed or was buried. They'll be updated mentally on the changes that have happened in the world since they died. You can speak with animals. Everyone finds you so freaking funny. We need some kind of everyone again thing. Everyone wakes up. This was actually one of the things from our the summoned. Yeah, the summoned. It was what it was called. What we made for the thingy. At the end of the game, you have like a bunch of potential positive wishes that come true, depending on how your dice rolls were. Everyone wakes up with $10 in. Everyone finds $10 in their couch cushions today. Veggies taste delicious. And fatty foods are now low calorie. Angel's almost done with the 20 like things here for the negatives, and then we just need a bunch of positives. Bees and no, we'll just say insects no longer consider you a threat and won't harm you. The same goes for animals. You always feel well rested after sleeping, no matter how little you sleep. And you can fall asleep instantly at will. You exude, or everyone now exudes a temperature of their choice. So they never feel cold or hot, regardless of where they are, unless they want to. Everyone is nice to each other. Yay.
You can teleport?
Oh, yeah, there we go. You can teleport at will. And don't worry, if you try to teleport into another object, you. And don't worry, you can't teleport into another object. So you don't have to worry about that.
You can probably take out the and don't worry part. So you can't teleport into another object, so don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, because I already had you don't worry,
Yeah.
and then don't worry about that. Yeah. Let's just like Google awesome things happening. Oh, this is like positive news, which is not what I wanted, but like yay for positive news. Best things to wish for from a genie.
How many positive things do you have to?
There's no limit.
Oh, okay.
Because basically the premise is that you would just roll and then those things would happen. So like if you roll a 20-sided die like 3 or 4 times, then like you'd wrap around and stuff like that. Panic says, I have a great and terrible idea. Oh no. What have you got? And helped with prompts. Oh, your voice is amazing, both for singing and talking. I'm stealing ideas from like Google now. You are immortal until you don't want to be. Oh, Panic says, great and terrible idea for the fortune telling trans thing. Okay, cool. What do we got?
Maybe something like any foods that you normally dislike taste like your favorite food or something.
All foods you hate now taste great. Right, all foods now taste great. You are Suddenly famous as heck. So famous, no one will let you pay for anything. And you're offered jobs, and you're offered all the jobs and roles you'd ever want. Oh no, I'm gonna head over to Twitch and see if I can get that fixed for you. Panic, sorry. We did not set up the bot for like, what's okay or not okay. And even if we did, like, I wouldn't even know anything about it anyway. So, um, oh weird, I don't even see it there. Like, I guess because I just joined, it's not showing me the thingy. I'm not sure.
No, this was here on stream. It was blocking out part of Panic's message, so I just allowed it.
Oh, okay, I see. That's weird. Thanks. So Panic says, those fortune-telling robots like Zoltron or Madame Zeta? What if I made a zine about one of those, but they transcoded? Yeah, I think that would be perfectly fitting. Because even specifically says, like, it doesn't have to actually be, like, anything. Like, it could just be any kind of related. So even if you wrote about one, like, like the journal of a fortune-telling robot or something, like, even that would be valid. Let alone, like, actually making one that's kind of playable or whatever. Oh, I forgot that I gotta move this over again. There you go. What other positive stuff do you have for us, Google? I don't know who you are, Robert Holden, but here we go. A pop-up right off the bat is definitely a great start. What is with this person's list? Here are 10 things to wish for. If you were granted 10 wishes by a genie, what would they be? Wealth or happiness, success or happiness, fame or happiness, status or happiness, attractiveness or happiness. Like,
Feels like a bot list.
it does. And very, very, very vague, not like a specific thing. So I guess we can just come up with more silly stuff on our own. We don't have the cheat code for how to like get all of them for us. Fine. You can now ride any animal without harming it.
They actually enjoy it.
And they enjoy it. Yeah, that's a great addition there.
You wake up to a new balloon animal
Yay.
sitting on your nightstand each morning.
Yay, that's cute. I like that's positive, but not like so positive if someone's gonna like smash the button immediately. Also, Panic said, I'm gonna make one of those personality quizzes like in teen girl magazines, but it's my robot asking the questions, and that'll result in the prediction. That's fun. I'm just imagining like BuzzFeed quiz now too. Okay. Walk barefoot without taking any damage, Orion says. I like the way that's worded, like without taking damage. Walk barefoot without taking any damage. Also, huh?
I said nice.
Yeah, it actually makes you a little jealous. And Panic agrees, apparently. I usually walk barefoot everywhere I can. And like as of 10 years ago, I swear I could walk on like the rockiest terrain. It didn't matter. Like I was perfectly fine on it. And then like over the last 10 years or so, my feet have gotten like really sensitive to like everything. So I'll just walk outside and step on one rock and be like, ow, this sucks. Like, oh my goodness, what the heck? Like I'll wear shoes outside now and stuff. Like just Panic says shoes are a prison and so are pants. I can speak from experience as someone who wore pants for 38, 39 years of my life, pants and shorts. that skirts are 1,000,000,000% better than pants any day of the week. As long as you're somebody who's comfortable with wearing a skirt. I know there are a lot of people in this world that would not be comfortable just throwing a skirt on, but still, they're the best. I also don't really like socks. Like I'll throw that out there. I'm not a fan of socks. They're usually more snug than shoes. They like don't want to be like, like they don't want to stay in place. They're slippery. They end up like awkward. They pick up every single splinter in existence and shove it into your feet. And yes, Orion got my tenderfoot back for sure. In fact, I think the tenderfoot is like the lowest level of Boy Scouts, and like I totally was a tenderfoot at one point.
We're down to 36 seconds, by the way.
That's all right. We'll be a little late to enter ours. It's all good.
Just saying, we might want to focus.
Yeah, that's totally fair. There you go. Oh wow, Lisa's up to 10 entries now. She's been getting a good like 7 to 12 per week now. She used to only get like 3 or 4, which back then she would just like play games until she got tired of it, basically. And then she just recently instituted the 5 minutes per person thing, because there's so many games now that like she would actually stream for like 3 or 4 hours, like when she would just take as long as she wanted on them. So she had to limit herself on that. And if she really likes something or whatever, like she'll totally add some time, like whatever. But the difference between ill-fitting pants and will-fit pants is like a Sisyphus held the stone with no weight. I'm liking how many references to Sisyphus there are lately, honestly, too, by the way. Like, I feel like I hear a Sisyphus reference, like, at least once a week, if not once every couple of days. It feels like it was the next evolution from everybody talking about, like, how dudes think about the Holy Roman Empire every day or whatever, or, like, 12 times a day or whatever. Like, oh, that's a good one, Orion. All clothes you find will fit you comfortably. I'll just change it to that.
Then I'll take this one out.
Oh, never mind. I like yours more anyway. Everyone appears to be wearing great and fashionable clothes, which they're not wearing anything. Oh, that's awesome. So it's like the Emperor's new clothes, but for real.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. He's very in season, Orion says. That's funny. You can speak fluently about any topic at will, or even if you aren't familiar with it. And then also on that note, I'm gonna go with no one questions you about what you say, as long as it's true.
That'd be so nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Oh no. What happened? Oh. Panic says the Automod is bullying him personally now. Oh, what the heck? My dad is calling right now.
Oh.
I am absolutely, I don't want to go into too much about it, but I am perfectly fine hitting decline on that call. I'm not somebody who likes phone calls anyway. And then
maybe just text that you're streaming and that is anything wrong.
That's a good idea. I'm trying to find where the heck the sword or whatever thingy is for like getting into. Oh, there it is. The mod view for Twitch. We don't use this stuff much at all. So
here, I got it.
Okay, I see you just added. Wow, yeah, I cannot believe it stopped you from saying that because of the word tights. Like what the but Panic said, oh, I still didn't even say, oh yeah, I did say we were live. Okay, I just forgot to close those tabs. I do completely understand that. here. Skirts are fun, but unfortunately, I haven't shaken the brain rot that demands I shave or wear tights with them. I do feel awkward when I don't shave my legs while I'm wearing a skirt. In fact, we were walking today, and like my legs haven't been shaved for a couple of weeks, and like, so they're just a little bit on the hairy side. But I just like I don't know. I feel awkward, but also like I feel like at this point, if anybody's gonna look at me awkwardly for anything, they're gonna be looking at my face for not shaving. So, like whatever. But if it's a question, make it a text. If it's a discussion, it's a text to ask for a call. I cannot agree more with that, Orion. Thank you. And I also totally agree with Panic here saying I prefer people to text to ask if they can call me. So that's two people in a row saying that. Like to text.
Yeah,
first.
but he hasn't called in a long time, so just make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I just saw your message. I will text him. If I can remember how to text from this phone, like I haven't. There it is. I don't really use my phone for texting. I have Facebook Messenger on here that I use, and that's basically the only messaging app I use. I think that's the number he called from. Okay, yeah, I actually just got a message a minute ago trying to call you. Hope this is your number. Hey, we're on stream right now. Making a game. Is everything okay? So there we go. I sent the message. I was the responsible daughter.
Thank you.
You betcha. Angel has to remind me how to be responsible sometimes. All right. Let's make that one of the prompts right now. If you like texting, people only text you. If you prefer calling, people only call you. So thanks for the help with that prompt there. Everyone receives an amount. Everyone receives a home and an amount of cash equal to enough to survive on. People are still encouraged to work or monetize their hobbies, I will say passions, to buy better food and housing, but no one goes hungry or lacks a comfortable place to live. Yeah, basically exactly that. Panic socialism. Yeah, I forget. It was like 4 years ago, 8 years ago. Someone ran on. I think it was called UBI, like basically a universal like basic income. That's what it was. UBI, universal basic income. Which I feel like even if that were to pass, it would be like the version of. And I hate getting into politics. I apologize if I'm like upsetting anybody here, but like it's the same thing that would happen where like we were told that like student loans are going to be canceled, and then like 1% of student loans were canceled. So like I feel like if universal basic income did pass, it would be like, yeah, if this and 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 this all happen, you get $100 a week. Like have fun surviving on that. That's plenty for anybody. Like okay, I got a message from Blanche now too. Blanche is my dad's wife. I am currently streaming and making a game, but if it's urgent, I can hop off stream and call. I did reply to the text too. There you go.
My goodness, what is going on?
I don't know. It is really funny though, and I'm a weird person in that like I don't really put barriers between myself, like personal life and stuff like that. So like I probably overshare, but like I haven't talked to my dad since like probably my birthday of last year, which is the middle of June. And it was basically like, hey, we know when we go to Chicago, we'll see you. And then they went to Chicago and didn't see us. So it is urgent, yes.
Okay, I'm going to call. You can stay on stream. It's fine.
Well, I mean, they might ask me questions, so too. So.
Oh, okay. I
Like it's
guess.
fine. We can just take off. It's all right. Like we'll enter what we have, and then I'll just give me 5 minutes, and I'll call. So yeah, I guess we're gonna take off for the most ridiculous reason yet in our streaming career, in that my dad urgently needs me to call him. So hopefully he's okay. Um, the last
Yeah.
time he called, I think it was because he had an issue with his cancer. So hopefully it's not something like that. Thanks, Panic, for saying so. I hope things are okay too. And before that, I just wanted to go through the things here. UBI is an instigator of the setting in the Captain Laserhawk animation. That's interesting, but it's UBI by corporation. And then Panic says, "I'm game for basic income. I have a lot of family who gives us ability checks, and like I don't know if everyone got checks would be pretty nice too. I'd still want to work. I feel the same way. Like honestly, like we really have like if we stopped working right now, like I mean we don't have jobs right now anyway. At least I don't. Um, but even with our like paying for our groceries and like the little bit of bills we have, we could probably be fine with even just the few grand we have in savings for like a couple of years, because we spend like $100 a week on groceries, and then there's like 100 something in bills. So like that would be like a year's worth, you know. And but it's just working feels good. Like at least to me, I do totally say that there are jobs
And
that like
having more than the bare minimum of things that we need,
right. Exactly. I do think that there are jobs I wouldn't want to do. Like if you didn't need a job to survive, there would be jobs that would be very hard to find people to do, I'm sure. But like people could just pay more for those, you know, then that would be the job that pays better, because those are hard to find people for. Um like sanitation work or things like that. But I enjoy making games. Like making games is like a fun puzzle to me. And like I love customer service because you get to hang out with people, you get to make people happy. Like it's kind of a skill to like turn people who are upset into happy people too. So like there's a level of skill and fun there. And there's just pride with the work too. Like as long as you don't hate your job, like you can have a really great amount of pride in what you do. And I think that's a really satisfying part of life. Um, Orion here says, "Amazed I found you from your Gaza bundle with the Bourbon, Indiana game." I was like, "Woo, Northern Indiana mentioned." Yes, we live in Bourbon, Indiana. That's why we made the game. That's our hometown now. Well, it's neither of our hometown, but it's where we've lived now for. I've lived here for 16-ish years, and
I lived here for many more than that.
yeah, and it's Panic says, liking customer service. Talk about a high charisma stat. Couldn't be me. That is the only time my charisma stat is high. Like as soon as I don't have that work hat on, like my charisma is just back down. But as soon as I do, like I'm not me anymore. I'm like Walmart Beth or whoever Beth. And so like it just there's the confidence just boosts me, because even if somebody's mad at me, they're not mad at me. They're mad at Walmart, or they're mad at, you know, I just worked for Weird Draft Games. They're mad at Weird Draft Games, not me. And it doesn't matter. So like my job is just to do my part, not um oh, actually I got a text from Dad saying all is well, just needed some info. Call me when you finish the game.
Oh, okay. And Blanche was saying it was important and that we needed just like goodness.
Yeah, so I'm messaging Blanche now. Okay, Dad just texted and said to call after the game. So I guess we'll do that. I was literally explaining that we had an urgent call and had to leave, but either Dad is being generous or
You're
this
being
is
dramatic.
less urgent than it sounded. So I'll call in like 30 to 60 minutes. I'm not going to get started on my feelings about any of that situation there.
Yeah, let's not.
Panic, Panic says, Walmart Beth sounds like the generic version of you. Yes, like the off-brand Beth. And yeah, Ryan says it's like a game or a role, and exactly that. It's like you're filling out a role and you're playing a part as somebody else. Like you're, especially when you get paid for that role. Like I get it if it's like, you know, like it's Beth and Angel make games. So if I'm doing customer service for our own company, I don't get that shell or protection over me. But when it's for somebody else and you're getting paid to do it, like what's the worst that's going to happen? I got paid $5 to deal with this irate customer. Oh no, what a horrible life. But like I mean, there are some people that you couldn't pay me enough to deal with. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm just saying that, like, for the most part, it's not that big of a deal. Orion's just like paddling up a river. Yeah. In fact, I think I'm still gonna finish this up because we have 36 things here. I think we'll finish this up now, and I'll get it posted, and then we'll take off. But at least then we have time to get this done, right? We plan to make this a bigger thing in the future, but as a rushed version to make in an hour, this had to do. Have fun. Okay, the other trick thing here for Hyper 1 Hour Jam is it has to be playable in your browser, which for most video games means, like this one here, let's just take it as an example. A lot of itch games just have this thing here where you can just hit run game and you play it right in the browser. For us, what that means is that we'll take images and we'll post them. Normally what we do is we just take a whole, like Canva has, where you can make a page into an image, and that's what we normally do. But I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, and we're going to make images, like screenshots here. I think if I do this, then we can fit all the 37 other things. No, we can't. Okay, so I'll go 37 divided by 2 is like 18. So we'll go 1 through 18. And most of these are short, so we'll go 1 to 19. And then 20 to 36. So we're going to have 4 screenshots here. And then we're going to edit this. We're going to call this game for now, Will You Press the Button? We are going to remove the fact that it's paid, because we're not going to have anything to download anyway. There's literally no buying this, which I don't know why I'm putting $1 in here then either. This is not released. This is in development. I don't know why I said it was done. We're actually going to remove all of this stuff too, including this, because it's free. We have a lot of stuff we put into all of our pages here, like this stuff. For all the Hyper 1 Hour Jams, we put a little thing about the Hyper 1 Hour Jam. And I like to link to the jam itself too, so people can find it. And then we always have a thing about our Patreon. And actually, I take it back. I'm going to up here one thing. This is far from done, which is why there's no downloadable version of it. You can open the game here in your browser, and then we're just going to link to, we're going to share this. Restricted. Anyone with the link can view it. Oh, you're on H2, Orion. That's cool. If you post a link into the chat, I will link you too. And then, like, we'll actually, share it on the full game when it's done. Normally, we don't release Google Documents as a thing. This is just a huge exception. And then we're just going to add the images here. Also, I forgot to do the whole, like, remove this from search and browse. And we just got to go to the screenshots folder. There we go. And we're going to put these 4 the page, I gotta get them in order now. So first is this one, and then this one, and then this one. There's nothing to download. The entire thing is in that Google Doc, or you can use the images on the right. Sorry if this is a little rough. Sorry if this is rough. Apparently, I need to urgently call my dad. So we stopped quickly, which I mean, we still are quickly stopping, so that's still true. Also, a huge shout out to Panicked Lizard, who came up with the overall idea for this game and helped with prompts. And Orion, oops, if I could type, HTTPS. Who helped with prompts too. And then we'll add that to the, I know it's not going to be in the image here, but I will link you here also. Okay. Oh, I got to save it all. Also, I didn't read a lot of the chat here recently. Panic says, I like being a custodian. I'm allowed to listen to music, talk to myself, pace around, stim, etc., as long as I get my work done. Or as long as I get my zone done. We worked at a factory as one of our most recent jobs. And that was my favorite part there. I basically, my whole job was running a staple gun and putting wood pieces together for valances for like windows. And I could totally like listen to music as loud as I wanted to. Do anything like that, as long basically it's the same thing. As long as I got my work done, nobody cared. I could stand around and talk all day if I wanted to, as long as my work got done. Angel had it a lot harder though. She had the much harder job there, and there was no slacking in that area. There was like, you were lucky if you could keep up, let alone like take a moment for a breather. Orion says
and if we did catch up, they sent me to sewing, which I didn't know how to do, and they put me on a machine that constantly broke. So that was fun.
Orion said, yeah, that was an awful machine, and all that situation was awful. That's why we don't work there anymore. Orion says, customer service should get commission pay for dealing with tough customers or solving problems. I couldn't agree more with that too. But there's no way to quantify that. Also fair. And then gave me like the link to the itch page and stuff like that. I have made nothing yet, but that might not be the case forever. And heck,
I look forward to seeing if you make something.
Totally agreed. And that's awesome. Orion says stocking shelves at the moment, listening at work. So that's fun too. Thanks for joining us then. Either way, like happy to keep you company while you're working. Just going to double check the page here. Why didn't it save any of the images?
Weird.
Oh, they're there. They're just broken images at the moment. Like the itch page isn't wanting to load. But I still have to, there we go. Now they're coming up. Weird, screenshots usually don't take this long to load. I also have to go through here, and I saw brackets still. I'm just going to remove this. Actually,
that is weird. It only loaded one of them for me.
Weird. That's what it did on mine too, like at that point. I'm actually going to get rid of the Did you know we have a Patreon too, and just this is the Hyper 1 Hour Jam, the things there. We'll be making a whole new page for this whenever the game's actually done, because there's a big thing when you release a game on itch. It sends an email to everybody that follows you. And so doing the Hyper 1 Hour Jams kind of ruins that, because people will just see like, you know, Beth and Angel released placeholder Hyper 1 Hour Jam. And it's like, nobody's going to click on that. So let's hit view page again. And it looks like it still is doing that with the images on the side. Northern small town Hoosiers create. Or Hoosier creators unite. Yes, exactly.
Also, you have in brackets add other games here. You might want to edit that out.
I fixed it. If you refresh the page, it'll be fixed. Oh my, it's even like really slow to load the images when I click
Yeah, it
on them
really
too.
is. Weird.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to the page here. We're going to go onto, will you press the button? Hey, sorry, something is up with itch images. They aren't displaying all of them, and then clicking on them takes forever to load. I made this in Google Docs, and you can click the link to check it out. However, I get it if you don't want to. I ended up quickly finishing this anyway, as I got an urgent message to call my dad. When we finish this for real, I'll share it on a future jam, but it'll be a while as we're super far behind on a lot. LOL. And I like to sign everything with Beth, since we're Beth and Angel make games. That way people can give us a part.
Orion says Northern Small Town Hoosier Creators Unite.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize you're from Northern Indiana. Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to take off then so I can call my dad. Thank you both for joining us. Panic, you've joined us a bunch of times, and it's always awesome having you here. You're always very entertaining and
Yes,
helpful.
thanks for hanging out.
And Ryan, it's been awesome to meet you. I didn't say anything, but I did see that you, at least I'm assuming that's you, joined our Discord server too. So it'll be awesome having you there too. But I'm going to go call him, and I will probably share whatever happens, as long as it's not super personal, in the Discord server there anyway. And thanks for saying so, Panic. That was a good stream. That means a lot to us. We definitely, at least I do, I'm pretty sure Angel does, deal with some pretty huge imposter syndrome. So hearing any kind of good feedback, thank you also too, Ryan, is very validating. You're both good viewers too. So
yes,
like, I guess we're even. But have a great evening, everybody.
yes.
Or
Good night.
day. Friendly local time. That's it.